Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Sunday Night Hanging right here on Sunday. I'm Ben. That's Dark Rob. You're you. And let's have some fun.
Hey.
We're gonna talk bass rigs. We're gonna talk 80s Rush. We're gonna recap the re-release of Live Aid, which was actually I should have done that show last week, but
it's timeless.
Rob knows much more about Live Aid than Charles.
It is timeless.
Exactly. See, we should probably get to roll call here. We got a Scarborough Suitcase in the chat already. That's 24 for those who don't know. Oh, it just jumped up 39. Look at that. All right, we got first in the chat, Steve Rees. Steve's here. Steve. Then we got Hi. Mark Taft. He says, hi, Ben. Hi, everyone. And then we got the Down and Back Cornhole Podcast. Hey. All right. McCollum Music is, in fact, here. Dan Gorman is here. Albar J is here. Keith H. Sup? He says, welcome to the Saturday Night Hang. What are we smoking tonight? What are you smoking, Keith? It's Sunday. Bo is here. Guitar Man 45. Jim, JPPH2. That covers Michigan.
The Big Mitten.
Krause is, in fact, here. Though it's not a channel member, but he's here. Who else we got? Stephen Munch Michelli is here. Cushman NYC. These are all the pre-gamers. All right, they're all the same. Jack Collins is, in fact, here. Billy Baloney, good to see you. Eston Ray. Greasy Monkey Guitars. Jade Guitars. All the guitars. Perfect. Ferd Burfel. What's up, Ferd? The Grand Poobah himself. Michael B., my favorite masshole. Who else we got here? Eddie Fay, Paul McNary. They could have carpooled. Probably not. Wayne McConnell, the Kelowna King right there. Who else? Hip Metalworks. All right, BC is representing. Nice. There's Trev. That's Symmetry. Nick KB Music. What's up, Nick? Good to see you. There's Charles 75N. Good show earlier today, Charles. Dastardly Dave. Glenn Michael Thompson. One of our Montreal madmen. Who else we got here? I'll see. Hey, there's Terry's 3Gs. Good to see you. Bonkers is here. All right. They're all saying hey to each other. Unfucking believable. Just woke up. How dark did Rob get? Well, not yet. Not a chance to really say anything yet. Don't worry, but we'll get there. There's Charles showing off Rob's channel. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do.
Thank you.
All kinds of interesting videos there, I'm just going to say. Absolute Mayhem. Good to see you. Who else we got here? Scrolling. Richard Nagamitsu. The voice of Cornhole is in the chat. What's up, Donnie? Jeff K. in the house. Who else? We're all saying hey to each other. I'm scrolling. Wow, we got 49, 48. Did you just close your phone? Martian Murray, who's neither Martian nor Murray, but we like him anyways. Who else we got here? That's everybody. We are caught up. Nice. And yes, an in-person roll call. And then Amanda has decided to grace us with her presence. That's nice.
Hi, Amanda.
She's not here, though. I am.
Gotcha.
Right. Steve Gunner is here. Welcome, Steve. And Devil's Horn, Alien Head, Rod Blackmore Official, the Glace Bay Gangster, I guess we'll call him.
Wow. Tough room.
Hi, Dr. Dark, my sister says.
Said with affection, I'm sure.
Right. Nice. Eric Coombs is here. Nice. Oh, it's Doug.
I think how we just got that.
He's not familiar with this guy.
I'll be here all night.
I'll be here all night.
You still got a drive to do. No, 3 hours. Oh, the cat's staring at us. Just staring at the top of the stairs. Yeah, all the Coombs tonight, Billy. Yeah.
A colony of Coombs. A collection of Coombs.
For either of us, you can put some question marks out front, or you can add us. That's the ampersand for you educated folks. Or if you're a member, you can use your member milestone or stand out with super chat. And of course, the virtual tip jar is always open to help keep the lights on and food in the cat's belly.
Cats like that. Big fans of food.
They do. Yeah, Earl P in the house. Good to see Earl.
I like this Coombs better. Wow.
That's from Donnie.
Ah.
Cat's kind of making me uncomfortable.
Right? She does that. I'll be sitting there. She usually comes down a couple stairs. It's kind of a Children of the Corn thing. She'll just be sitting there. Yeah, that's the cat's gone dark already, Rob.
Nice. I gotta catch up.
Tiny.
I'm just off my game.
It's just sitting there on the stairs, like, what are they doing?
Staring, pondering, planning, menacing,
My
conspiring.
sister says, whatever, I'm the best Coombs.
And the best Coombs. The moderator to the stars. Let's not forget that too.
Oh, she's stealing my title now? I believe RJ gave me that title years ago.
He has not done a Saturday morning in a while. The man must be on the
I don't
road.
think he ever will.
Think he's done?
There's a reason I didn't mention it the last time he was on. Because I noticed he was doing about one every 6 weeks. And then with summer approaching, I'm like, he's not doing another one anytime soon.
No, probably not. More of a cold weather thing, I think, for him.
Last I heard, no, it's unofficial, but unofficially, he may have been out in Los Angeles
Oh,
a couple weeks shooting a music video.
neat.
Yeah. Not a gear demo, but an actual music video, folks.
Wow.
Lip-syncing and everything.
Not for transatlantic radio.
Yes.
Ah,
Certain moderators trying to suck up to you. I'm just saying. Check out the best cornhole channel on the YouTubes.
on the YouTubes.
Except he doesn't really put anything out on YouTubes anymore.
He can only bring 3 bases. Right. Here we go. So there's 2 ways to approach this. I would say if he owns a lot of bases, we're going to do a 5-string fretless, and a 4. If we're just doing 4 strings, I think you do a PJ, a jazz, and some kind of Music Man Stingray. So
I would bring a P bass, another P bass, and a PJ bass.
at one point he had 19. I have 19 currently, which is just sick, sad, and stupid. But yeah, if you had to get down to 3, I think I do a 5-string, a 5-string fretless, and just a straight ahead 4. That's
3 PJs. Who am I kidding?
3 PJs.
No, 2 and a Stingray. Need 1 with a humbucker.
He's bringing his Spectre. Oh, geez. Well, that covers a lot of ground right there. If he's got a really nice Spectre,
Not to be confused with Schecter. Totally different.
very different. $1,000 plus difference at minimum. Yeah, Spectre, not Schecter. No, not 1 or 2 P bases. No, even though I own. How many P bases do I have currently?
I think that's
2 P bases.
Oh, Amanda just got that on here.
Wow.
Yeah, she's the smart one.
Yeah. She might be the most popular, but she ain't the smartest. Whoa, Mark Spurgeon just gifted 5 Ben Coombs memberships.
Yay! Thank you, Mark.
I wonder, did Michael Krause win a membership? I'm going to
see here.
Oh, man.
2 Made in Mexico Fenders, mid-90s jazz,
Wait for
and
the chat to clear up. Richard Clark.
jazz, and I don't know what the STU is.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
2
Mr. Smith received a gifted membership. Brandon Case, Jay Carriega, sorry, Jay, Andy Carson, and 10 Solo Music Company. Well, it'll be Emery.
Oh, Stu Ham. Gotcha, Eric. Okay, Stu Ham. I remember the Stu Ham Urge bases, and I know a few people who owned them. Actually, Phil McKnight has one too. Apparently, the electronics in those kind of eat themselves after a while, I've been told. But they were a neat instrument. They were a real neat medium-scale bass, and the first signature bass Fender ever did.
Nice to my sister, too.
No.
She's sucking up to Charles. Thank you, Charles.
Maybe a Mustang. Or you know what? If you're going to do short scale, much as I'm not a Gibson
You want
bass
short
fan,
scale, just play guitar. That's what guitars are for. Keep that short scale for guitar. All right.
I was going to suggest an EV3, but Ben has maybe we'll short scale. We'll do a Fender Bass 6 then. That'll be
There we go.
EV bass, PJ bass, and a 5-string bass. That would work. Ernie Ball, PJ, and a
I
5.
hear the howling upstairs because she knows.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I want to go outside. I'm dying. No, you're not.
Yeah, the concentric controls on those things are known to fry. And actually, weirdly enough, that's why they got away from the concentric controls on the first jazz basses, too.
If you haven't already, please like, folks. We got 57 people watching.
Oh, shit, I haven't done
Yeah, thanks.
that. No problem.
Ooh, Dynabass.
Be cool like Doug and hit the like.
42-inch 6-string Dingwall. Yeah, I could do absolutely nothing with that. I cannot play a 6-string, and 36-inch scale I've done. Well, my Holy Grail bass
for you. Yeah.
Holy Grail bass. Well, I mean, my JD bass is my Holy Grail bass, which I finally own. But I guess unlimited money.
Acrylic Dan Armstrong bass.
Of course, yeah, because I really want to remove my spine. I want the one bass heavier than my T40. I want to go out there, and I basically want an anvil. I want an anvil.
People, they gigged with that and an Ampeg.
Yeah, the whole Ampeg rig.
At the start of the tour, I was 2.5 inches taller. I've been compressing my spine with each load in and load out.
I just roll myself in and out on the luggage cart. It works the best. Probably a Carl Thompson. Those are the really weird, like zebra pattern with the ornate curves that Les Claypool plays. Not the pachyderm. The guy who makes the pachyderms trained with Carl Thompson, but probably a Carl Thompson.
Uncle Steve. I'm going to say, based on our mutual love of 80s bass stuff, his bass, I didn't realize how prominent bass was in a lot of music in the 80s. Like,
oh yeah, and twangy as hell. Yep.
Yeah, like nice, bright. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Steinberger bass.
One you can actually get, which you can still get those. Not many Carl Thompsons around.
No.
Or what would be a fun one too? The Philip Kubicki. That's the power station bass. That's also a weird looking headless bass.
What?
I have played a Mockingbird neck through bass. I do have a bcrich. I have a headless stealth bass that's neck through body. Actually, it is the Abomination bass. It's the only headless bass I think bcrich ever made. And if you ever saw it, you'd know why. So, but I have played Mockingbirds. Mockingbird basses balance really nice. The weird thing about them is a lot of them used 2 P bass pickups, and that's kind of weird. Now, some of them have the Bill Lawrence humbuckers that look like mine
configuration.
Yeah, the Leyland Sklar configuration, exactly. But yeah, there's some. The Kubicki basses are really cool. Mm-hmm. They talk about bringing them back once in a while, but there was a lot of neat bass stuff out of the 80s. I mean, Steinberger was the big one, but Ned Steinberger designed the Spectre bass. You got like somebody just said in the chat, the Hartke aluminum cone speakers, which were great until they fried, and then you found out you couldn't get replacements. So that was a problem. A slight issue.
Fried and you couldn't get replacements. I was supposed to, I think I'll buy some speakers that won't fry.
Yeah.
Zach Thong in the house.
But there was some nice gear. There were a lot of really good, especially a lot of good amps. I mean, Eden, Bag End, SWR, they all kind of made their way through the 80s. And then Fender bought all of them and shut them down. So, but I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all.
The Fender way and the Gibson way. Mm-hmm. We buy brands that build better products than us and then shelve them.
And then we pull the plug on them.
And don't even bother stealing their technology.
No, just shutter them. Nope, you don't need it. Nope.
No. This is the bass you want. I don't want a P bass.
Yes, you do. You just don't know you want it. You don't know how much you want it. Or Trace Elliott, which PV bought and killed. Oh, bass amp and cabs, dark glass are great. They really are. If I had kind of an unlimited budget, I think dark glass would be the way to go. They make a great
When we
410.
answer your question, Rob, we should recap the question for those that are listening. I'm just
Richard Nagamitsu asked,
Yeah.
what bass amps and cabs are your faves? Right now, really love dark glass gear. Their stuff is really solid. It's pricey. I think it's made in Scandinavia. It's pricey, but it's really, really good. Of course, you can't help but love Glockenklang, because I just like saying Glockenklang, you know?
Sure.
Because
Simply made with German precision.
German precision and seething rage. So yeah, Glockenklang makes great stuff.
Yeah.
Have not liked Ampeg since they went to Vietnam. That was just a nightmare.
I've enjoyed at PV, sure. You know, if you want a very neutral sound, sure.
Oh yeah, I have tons of PV gear. Someone said Symmetry said Galen Kruger. Their stuff's great. Galen Kruger is like another. Galen Kruger was like a big 80s and 90s brand too. I mean, and still going strong. So, yes, Billy Baloney, Fender did kill Hamer. I mean, the Cruise bass and the Blitz bass, they were some 80s cool basses too. Every old Def Leppard video with the Explorer bodied Hamers.
Right.
But yep, they killed that. And Voice of Cornhole, a vote in for the Doghouse. Bring back the stand-up bass.
Electric stand-up?
I can't do anything with a stand-up, electric or otherwise. Got a vote for Alembic in here from JP Page 2. Yeah, their stuff is great.
Sure.
Oh, Ashdown from Richard Magamitsu. Yeah. Ashdown stuff is really good too. Although
I've heard Ashdown Geezer Butler video on me something fierce. Why'd you actually get? I'm like, no, I heard it. I'm good. I'm a bass player. YouTube, but appreciate it.
And Rob Blackmore and the Spectre. The Spectre Euro series is really good and pretty affordable. Those are the ones made in the Czech Republic. The USA made ones, which are great, but you're getting into like Warwick territory.
I was going to say Warwick bases, right?
Well, Warwick license from Spectre. So all the Warwick designs are variations. Not all, but a lot of them are variations on the Spectre. And they don't hide it, they say. Stephen Douglas has something called East Amps, which I've heard of, but I've never played.
Steve brand. All the Steves. All at once.
And Michael B has a rocket bass cab.
Okay.
McCollum, yes, McCollum, you are correct. Double basses are crazy pricey. They are hard to maintain. And when you have to like spend $150 on a set of strings, that's just wrong. So
no. I don't want to spend that on a guitar. What?
Actually, Eric, that Cheap Trick is a 12-string bass, which means you hate your life that much more than an 8-string. I have an 8-string. And yeah, Tom Peterson uses a 12-string Hamer and a couple of others.
I'd hate to be his tech.
Oh, God, that's just nightmarish.
I don't want to know what the constant truss rod or rods, like, let alone the nut. Like, imagine having to cut a nut for that thing.
You would need, what, like a jeweler's loop? I mean, that's just nuts. Oh, Ken Smith basses. Yeah, Glenn Thompson. Yeah, Ken Smith basses are great. They're crazy pricey, too. But, I mean, Carl Thompson's kind of the top of the market because it's really two guys.
Eddie Van Haskell. Honda makes cool 80s basses with a barbed wire paint job. True.
I remember, what was the one horrible
Isn't a 12-string bass the same thing as a harp? Eddie Face says. Yeah. Pretty much.
Short scale Hondo P bass.
A 3x4. Yes. I like that, Ferd. A 3x4. Yeah. That's not a 12-string. It's just a 3x4. What?
It's
Quentin fucking James in the house.
It is a 3x4 where there's 2 octave strings at the same pitch with a lower octave string. Yeah, so it's a standard octave and 2 parallel higher octaves. It's nuts. And somebody had asked for a good kind of a good starter bass amp. Any of the Fender Rumble series are really good. Yep. Any of the Hartkey combos are really good. I kind of prefer the Hartkey stuff. Actually, what I do, Steve Gunner, on an 8-string bass, I find when somebody's selling piccolo strings for next to nothing. I have a couple sets of piccolo strings because they don't sell that many, and then you get those cheap.
I'm going to admit this publicly, but yeah, the rumors have been around for a while, Quentin. Just saying. The rumors have been around for a while.
Uh-oh.
Is Jay Guitar returned? Nice. Billy Sheehan's Yamaha bass, sure.
Yeah, the Attitude bass, they are weird feeling. They're like half of the frets are scalloped above the octave.
None of us recommending a Rickenbacker either.
Yeah, I noticed no one mentioned a Rickenbacker yet. Yeah, they are. The Attitude
bass
is
cool.
The Attitude,
yeah, where it is.
Ricks look cool.
I almost, I thought if I was going to have a bass around here, I thought, I'll get a Ricky. Nope. Then I watched Dave's World of Fun Stuff, and I went, nope, not ever going to own a Ricky.
Nope.
Two truss rods, Doug. 2.
And neither of them really work. Oh, yeah, the Rickenbacker is, I guess the newer ones, they've gotten better, but until like 8 or 10 years ago, they literally were 1970 technology. You did not adjust the neck with the truss rod. You put the neck in a vise, you bent the neck physically to where you wanted it, figured out some way to hold that in place, then torque down both truss rods. It's
a 2-man operation, really. And by the way, there's no tool in existence to adjust said truss rods, so you have to modify an open-end wrench.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had a friend who had a
include the little wrench to do. No, Ricky's like, fuck it. Why would you ever have to adjust a truss rod? Because I don't live in fucking California where it's 72 degrees every day.
And you also have to have the little nail polish remover acetate to carefully dissolve the lacquer that's hardened said truss rod nuts into place.
Right.
So it's a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a nightmare. They are an absolute nightmare.
Michael Crow says, I once tried a Rick copy. It looked like a Rick, but it was good.
But it was a good.
Right? Because they probably did all the things right that Rickenbacker doesn't. Ooh, any favorite bass picks or finger only?
Anything medium. I don't like super heavy bass picks. I like a little bit of kind of snap. So just about anything medium, usually like about an 88. Kind of the same thing I use on guitar. Prefer finger style, but there you go.
You're thinking it, Doug. I know.
We all went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Squire, Richard Nakamitsu, that is definitely a really unique growl. You can get that. Like my PVT-40 does a pretty good Rick impersonation. Mm-hmm. It also will compress your spine, so there's that problem. So it's a world of tones and a world of pain.
That Rick would have much of a growl because they have very anemic pickups.
They're just farty. I can't describe them any other way. They've got a real farty tone to them. They're not powerful at all. They're incredibly quiet pickups by output, but they just have a weird, buzzy, fuzzy kind of farty tone to it with the way the tone circuit is, which I'm sure was designed broken and it was done purely an accident. Billy Baloney wants a Thunderbird. You've not lived until you've played with the neck dive of a Thunderbird. If you think an SG has great neck dive, the Thunderbird is wondrous.
Yeah.
That is not a bass built for balance. So
Rob Blackmore says Steve Harris from Iron Man's P bass. Yeah, that's just a 70s P bass.
Yeah, I loved when they brought that out as a signature. It's like, this is just a 74 P bass. Why are we charging you that much?
Which is the same as the 64 P bass, which is the same as the
yeah. Or the what was it? The Cliff Williams from AC/DC, where the $3,800 74 Music Man. It's like, or I could just buy a 74 Music Man. So,
right.
Steve Gunner, you know who makes a really good P bass pickup if you want something a little bit off the beaten trail, but is actually quite good? Believe it or not, although he's known for making guitar pickups, Dylan Talks Tone, Dylan bcrich581, I can never pronounce his name. He makes a really good P bass pickup. I put a P bass pickup of his in one of my 2 P basses. I love it. If you're looking for the easiest upgrade you can do to a Squire P bass, get a passive EMG system because they're plug and play. And even though EMG is known for its active pickups, I have a P-bass clone with a passive P-bass pickup in it. It's the only bass I have with flat wounds to get kind of that classic P-bass sound. It does a really good job. And quarter pounders are great too. Eric was chiming in.
I think quarter pounders are kind of the industry standard. Yeah, like if you're going to replace the pickups in your quarter pounders.
Now I had the 40.
Larry, my old bass player. That's what he did with his. Actually, it might have been around a 74 P bass as well. And yeah, he put quarter pounders in it, and it sounded great. Oh.
Now that's interesting. Richard Nagamitsu said he likes his 40th anniversary Squier Jazz. I bought the 40th anniversary Squier P bass, and the neck on that thing was so gigantic. I actually sold it to one of my students because I just could not move around it. So, biggest bass influence. Let's see, best P bass pickup. The 62 is nice. Yeah, the 62 is nice. There's really a lot of great stuff out there. Billy Baloney wants biggest bass influence. Jaco Pastorius, kind of everybody's first choice.
Sure.
That one's a hard one to beat.
Yeah, Minisert says, what is this? Bass Talk Sunday? Just picked up a 2x10 Katana bass amp a few weeks back. Nice. Nice. Nagamitsu asks, Ben, what basses and bass amps do you have? I have no bass amps. I do have an Ibanez, what's that thing? A Road Gear or something bass. I don't know. You want?
And
get a roadie here.
And Steve is
Brian for tone. Just saying.
Oh, Steve, you're scoffing at John Paul Jones, a bass god. I mean, ramble on. Oh, great melodic bass line. Oh, and we got Ben Tom in the chat too. Yeah, Ben Tom, when he went to school at University of Miami, actually knew Felix and Julius, Jaco's twins. One who's a great bass player, and the other one's a really good percussionist.
Eddie says, I use an octave pedal for my bass parts. No, I actually just use my producer's bass because it's there at the studio. He's like, okay, time to lay down bass. I'm like, oh, right. And
you got a bass?
I don't even know what it is. I just, it was so funny because he's like, you got to retune it. I was like, why? He says, well, it's tuned down a half step and you're recording in standard tuning. I'm like, you hand me that capo? Just capo with the first fret. He's like, really, dude? I said, yeah, really, dude.
And Bent Larkin Poe. Yeah, Larkin Poe are like there's two or three of them. They're like a roots rock. I think they're a trio or a duo. I had a friend that's into them.
I like John Paul Jones. Of course, Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee. I miss the wall bass. The wall bass era was my favorite Geddy Lee era. I just loved the tone on that thing. That was just awesome.
Essentially, how his tone changed, like everything I'm telling. Then once he decided on playing a vintage jazz bass, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is like all the time." I'm like, not all the time, maybe some of the time. You didn't play that for the first 20 years of your career, so back off.
Yeah, two sisters in Larkin Poe. Thank you, Ferd. And it was something like that.
Right. Yeah. So Tom, rest up.
Yeah. We want you hanging around, Tom. We need you.
Tom wasn't feeling too well recently, but he's back home now, so that's good. He didn't die on us recently, which is good. So only half died or something. Strokes. Hey. I don't know. But you're in our hearts, Tom. Apparently, Gear 35 is here. I can tell by Charles's attempt to. What the hell, Charles? You put in the R by mistake. You went to backspace and you just did an equal sign instead. That's fine. I love Primus.
Dastardly Dave Primus, yes, and he has the best collection of Carl Thompson basses on the planet. Yep.
I just remember I was really into the Chili Peppers until I heard Primus. Like, I'm done.
Yep.
Because as Chili Peppers are getting more commercial with every album, Primus wasn't.
Just getting weird, and Sausage and every other weird side project. Actually, Eddie Fay, huge Phil Lynott fan. Absolutely love Phil Lynott. Absolutely love Thin Lizzy. Love Gary Moore. Phil Lynott's an underrated bass player. He really is. I mean, he's a pick style player, but he was really good. some really good, very bouncy bass lines. Dancing in the Moonlight has a really good, just bouncy kind of funky little line. A lot of really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Dave's back to watching old Primus videos. I can see that.
There you go. Mr. Kringle is one of the creepiest videos ever. He's like the big pig in the Porky outfit and going. Yeah. It's some weird ass stuff.
Yep.
Jeff Pincus plays a V-style bass. Oh, he was one of the Butthole Surfers. Okay. I thought that name sounded a little familiar. Yeah, Richard Nagamitsu. Phil used a lot of flange on his bass. You can get it with a very slow chorus that's very close too. But he had a very neat bass tone. And a lot of P bass was his big thing.
Right. Sir Paul. How's the bass player?
Sir Paul. Oh, JD throwing in for Lewis Johnson of the Brothers Johnson. Oh yeah. Great thumb style player.
Oh yeah. Musically or just hanging out?
Both.
Oh, okay.
And probably Richard Nagamitsu slinging Billy Sheehan again. Yeah, that Billy Sheehan attitude bass is the weirdest freaking thing. It really, it's definitely
something like that.
Yeah.
Esterly Dave learning Golden Boy.
Yeah,
that attitude bass is weird.
I make the music. I don't watch it. You ain't Paul.
Earl P has a vote for Phil Lesh. You know, never was a big Dead fan. Saw them live twice. But Phil Lesh, great bass player. And when I used to try to teach people, when I had students, like a really good sort of moving improv bass line, Dark Star is brilliant. Like if you can get through Dark Star, that's damn good.
Ferd said no Getty fans here. I mentioned Getty, Ferd.
We were discussing
probably he's right up there.
We were discussing the wall to jazz bass transition. Big wall era fan for Getty. You know, big money fan.
Mm-hmm.
But Phil Lesh, George Porter Jr., another really good bass player that a lot of people don't know about. Earl P. Rob, what years were your shows? I played out a lot in the 90s and early 2000s. That was kind of when I was doing most of my stuff, when I was playing out, just cover band type stuff. So, but, you know, it was a great time to be playing live because tons and, you know, all that Seattle stuff was very, very, very guitar driven. So, you know, I think that was just a great time to be playing out. A lot of people really digging live music. Joe Jackson's bass player. Heard of him. I don't know a lot of Joe Jackson's stuff. Eddie Fay asking for a John Deacon vote.
Of course.
John Deacon is awesome.
Along with Doug Pinnick from Elbarge.
Doug Pinnick, another 12-string guy. And he's got the correct spelling of Doug Pinnick in there too. The D-U-G. Kiesel has a nice Brian Bromberg signature that is really solid. And Peavy made a Brian Bromberg signature before that too, actually. I think they did. Was it? No, they didn't. I'm sorry. It wasn't Bromberg. Yeah, that Bromberg Kiesel, I played the Carvin one for Brian Bromberg. And I remember it was a 5-string and it had offset dot markers, which I thought was a stupid idea until I played it. And I'm like, oh, I can see the dot markers a lot better because they're not under the strings now. Oh, big vote for Charles Mingus in here. Charles Mingus, great composer, great bass player, and was into pulling guns on people, which is probably hard as a band director. I remember reading all those.
That doesn't have loyalty. So
nope.
Donald Duck Dunn, sure. Tony Levin.
Sure. Tony Levin.
We're just going to mention all the bass players at this point.
We've covered them all. Tony Levin, at one point when Jacko was fading out of Weather Report, they actually thought about approaching Tony Levin to replace him. That would have been interesting to hear Tony Levin in Weather Report.
Well, we should talk a little bit about Live Aid. 40 years ago, last Sunday. Did you watch Live Aid?
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody did, apparently. They were saying they were looking at the numbers. It was something like 95% of all televisions in the world were tuned in. At one point, it was like over 2 billion people.
Oh, Terry, that was Daryl Jones that plays for the Stones. And we did mention Stu Hamm, actually. We talked about the Urge bass a little bit earlier.
Yeah. I didn't mention Blackie Lawless. I didn't mention Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, those are two we're not going to mention. We're going to just pass right over those. Jamaluddin Takuma. Excellent one. Yes, Jamaluddin Takuma. We're going to go right to him instead. So,
but I did see some quality bass playing on. I watched all 10 parts this week, folks, of the Live Aid re-release, and woo, there's some quality players. And it was actually at one point, Rob, a funny thing. I was watching Brian Ferry's set.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big Brian Ferry fan. In
Yeah.
fact, I'm watching going, good song. I'm not really a fan of his, okay? And I'm watching it. I'm just about to kind of skip forward. And then the guy goes in lead break, and they got the camera shooting the guy's like right hip. So all I can see is a red Strat, because from the arm carve, right? And this guy's doing all these bends, and I'm just like, fuck, easy there, David Gilmour. Then they pan out. It was David Gilmour.
It was David Gilmour.
Oh, all right. Touche, David Gilmour. You sounded very much like yourself. In his rig, he had 4 Fender amps of some combo and loudness with extension cabs underneath, and not one, but 2 strobo tuners sitting on top. Because that's part of the signal chain is I have to go through the strobo tuner, use it as a preamp into the Fender.
Yeah, just in case.
And the craziest thing is we know, like, nobody had pedal boards.
Nope.
If you had effects, it was all rack gear. And to see these pedal board-esque switching systems that were so archaic for 1985, and people doing these tap dances, it was quite interesting to see in that respect.
Oh, yeah. There was some weird tech floating around there. And yes, Bent Tom, you're right. Victor Wooten's probably the best guy out there right now. And I remember OTL Burbage, Aquarium Rescue Unit. Yep.
Sure.
Now, there was some really neat stuff on here. Baloo 45. Yeah, that's the bass that Level 42 plays. He plays JD's. It's the bass that I bought. He plays the same bass that I have. He's just got the more cherried out version because he's wealthy and talented, and I'm neither of those.
And I shit you not, there's one guy wearing his bass so high at Live Aid, his strap came straight off his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
It was right up. I'm like, one of the British pop bands. I was like, easy there. Because they're all doing their ska-based stuff, and like...
I still remember, and they might have been in Philly because it was ungodly hot. I remember watching Spandau Ballet, and he's out there in a leather trench coat. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow.
That was Wembley. Yeah, that was Wembley.
Was that Wembley? Okay, yeah.
But it was hot at Wembley, too. Like, it was hot in both locations because they were...
He just looked like... Yeah, he just looked like he was
fashion
under a shower.
Rob. Fashion over
function. So fashion over function.
Because he was after he was hanging out in the Royal Box with Charles and Diana. Yes, Boo Boo.
Boo Boo's very happy to have friends visiting.
He is not impressed at all. She's got her back right up in the air. Just letting this be known. All right, yeah. He was the singer. He was actually one of the organizers of the event, along with Bob Geldof. And
I didn't know that.
The frontman for Ultravox as well, whose name is
Midgear. Is that? Yes. That I did know, but I can't. Like I said, I've watched it a few times, different bootlegs, not the repackaged thing that you saw, but
right
at this point, it's kind of blurring who was where. And then I still remember
how many did like Band-Aid type thing because it was from all over the world. And like, here it is from so there's people from all different around the world, right? And it was either Norway or Denmark. It's all these young people looking like Thompson Twin knockoffs and shit in their 20s. And then all of a sudden they show this one dude with the collar open, the gold chains, and the mustache. Fucking Cock Vanderpalm right there. I'm just holding court on the second verse. I'm like, ah!
Oh, Ben Tom, that's
that album covers. Cock was rather prominent.
Ben Tom, that's Tal Wilkenfeld. Tal Wilkenfeld's the one that played with Jeff Beck.
Yeah, I just lost my shit when I saw that. I'm like, fucking. Yep. And
worst.
some bands were, definitely firing all cylinders, and some of them definitely were not.
Led Zeppelin with Phil Collins.
To this day, they don't like each other because of that.
Nope. I much as I love Zeppelin t-shirt, obvious. I kind of think Phil Collins was right. Like, he gives the more credible argument. It kind of
Exactly. Phil Collins didn't have a problem performing solo. Phil Collins didn't have a problem performing alongside Sting. I'm just saying. They did their duet, which I didn't know they did a song together, but they did, and so they played it because they were both there.
Yep.
It was interesting how many people just came out just solo, too, just like them with a guitar. Like Elvis Costello just stole a show doing did he do with a little help from my friends? No. He did do a Beatles song. Just solo. Him and a Strat. Sounded great. And then Neil Young did the same thing. He started out just solo acoustic, and then he brought out his... He was in, you can tell, country mode. He had 2 fiddle players, a steel player, and he still did Powderfinger, but it was interesting because the solos weren't quite the same, because he didn't have the full rig, so he wasn't quite as dirty sounding. I think he was more back just to cocaine by then, Billy, because he had the diabetes.
Oh, of course, you got to limit yourself when you have...
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Okay.
Yeah, he Googled it. All right.
Thank you, sir.
But a lot of people did do Beatles covers throughout the day. Patti LaBelle could have done without her set. Especially doing a Beatles. Oh, she did Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I just about retched.
Wow.
That was... First of all, nobody needs to hear an 8.5-minute version of that. Yeah. U2's Bad was transcendent. U2, oh my... It was funny watching Bono with his mullet and his riding boots with the big 3-inch heels a la Prince. But, oh yeah, U2 did an amazing set. That was so good. Judas Priest knocked out of the park. Yep. Black Sabbath with Ozzy. Oh, so good. So good.
And a healthy Bill Ward.
Just looking mean with the jet black long hair and the big old stash. He's just pounding with the spare. I love it. He was the only guy I saw that had a spare snare drum right there because he's like, I'm going to punch right through it at some point. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers was pretty good.
They have never not been good. I have never found any show, anytime, anywhere.
And, of course, Bob Dylan to close out the show was a shit show.
Oh, yeah. And suggested pitching money to the farmers, which
Bob Dylan... It was funny. It was Bob Dylan with Keith Richards and Ron Wood, all on acoustics. And I'm like, this is like the worst anti-CSN thing who had beautiful harmonies earlier in the day. Because I'm like, not one of them can hold a fucking note.
Nope.
And they're doing Blowing in the Wind. But by then, since it was the 80s, Bob had converted to just a 2-chord song, basically. And so Keith had a capo on like the 9th fret or something. And Bob broke a string. So Ronnie, gave him his guitar to finish the song. It's very weird.
Yeah, that's the best guitar player on stage. Hand your guitar to Dylan. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Duran Duran kind of sucked. I was surprised. Weird how Duran Duran and Power Station, the Taylor brothers, doing double duty.
Yeah, but that was really Power Station. That was like their summer. I mean, that was when that album blew up.
And ironically, no Robert Palmer because he left the band after their one live performance on SNL.
Yeah, we got Michael
DeBarge or Michael DeBarge.
Yeah, Michael DeBarge. Did I pronounce it? Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the dude from Scum of the Earth on WKRP.
That was him. Yeah, and he's like gentry or something in the UK. Someone said his father's like a baron or something. So, but yeah, that's the guy from Scum of the Earth.
David Lee Roth vibes. All show, no go. Yep. Voice was not there. He definitely wasn't Robert Palmer. That's for sure.
No. That band is kind of cursed, though. I mean, Bernard Edwards, who became their like full-time bass player, he's dead. Robert Palmer's dead. Tony Thompson, the drummer's dead. I mean, it's like, wow, this band's got a high attrition rate. No, Michael DeBars, however you pronounce it. Richard Maganitsu has it. Yeah, not El DeBarge.
No. Whole Notes was pretty good. Of course, you got E.G. Smith or G.E. Smith. I can remember. G.E. Smith.
Yep, and T-Bone Wolf. Another
with long hair on him too. It looked kind of weird. Yeah, because he had very much Daryl Hall hair happening. I'm like, ooh, easy. But then Mick Jagger came out to do a song, and so they backed Mick, and then Tina Turner came out to sing a duet with Mick, with Hall & Oates backing them, as well as a Coaster and a Four Tops, I think, or Temptation. That's what it was, to do their Motown medley, which wasn't really Motown; it was Philly music.
Yep.
But same thing, only further east.
There you go. And the god-awful David Bowie, Mick Jagger dancing in the streets video, which is...
they just showed the music video. I'm like, yeah, and Bowie's set was all right, better than when you saw him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, way better. Yeah,
way better. Simple Minds, good set.
Oh, yeah.
Style Council, wasn't impressed. I understand why they never broke outside of the UK. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because it was a bunch of the people. You're like, hey, I recognize these people from the Band-Aid video that I didn't know who the hell they were.
Now I know.
Yep.
I liked all the wild rumors.
They didn't include any of the Led Zeppelin footage or Santana. Which, all right.
Yeah, I wonder why the Santana snub. That seems kind of random.
Well, he had, was it Pat Metheny or Metheny? He came out, sat in with them. Same as way I was telling Rob off air. Yeah, George Thorogood. Second song, he's like, I'm bringing out the king of the Telecasters. I'm like, who's the king of the Telecasters? Albert Collins. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to argue that. Which, oh my God, phoning it in. Albert Collins just capoed on like the 7th fret, and he's just basically just hammering on open 2, open 3. It's like, so minor pentatonic, he's just hammering on. Queen was epic, Richard Maganitsu. Yep. Yeah. That was,
yeah. Best band of the day, I think.
Yep. Yeah, because they also showed like how to work a crowd.
Oh God, a crowd of 80,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was definitely good.
Oh yeah, that was outstanding.
They even came out for doing the Band-Aid version later, which was because Freddie's just kind of in the back, and he's like he's one of the biggest stars. Then you had Paul McCartney performing solo. Or how about this though, Rob? Because at first I'm like, wait a minute, Mick Jagger's in Philly performing. Keith and Ronnie are both there. I was like, you couldn't get Bob or Bill and Charlie. I'm like, oh wait, it's 1985 when during their hiatus. Charlie was at the height of his heroin addiction. That's why the Rolling Stones didn't perform, because Charlie was in no shape to fucking perform.
Charlie was a train wreck, and what was Mick was doing? She's the Boss. Remember, that was his big solo song at the time. He was doing just
Mick
another night.
Whether he wanted to act or do solo work.
But that's right.
Thinking, with the amount of reformations, and I started doing the math, and I'm like, oh right, Charlie was not in any shape to play drum.
Oh no. Nope, that's why Ainsley Dunbar's on like a good chunk of the Undercover album, because Charlie was under the table and dreaming. So, Yep. Not that, as we've discussed, not that Jimmy Page looked a whole lot better.
Surprised Van Halen didn't play it then. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think Van Halen had a singer at this point in time.
Unless you count Patti Smith, I don't know, but she was going to be the new singer. Yep. Yeah, I think probably Van Halen were the biggest no-show.
And it only hit me because I saw a guy with a Van Halen shirt in the crowd, because it was like he was super tall with a white T-shirt with the Van Halen logo clearly homemade along the back of the top of his shirt, and I'm just like, wow, that's obvious.
That's some high school silk screening there, some high school art class.
Kenny Loggins wasn't too shabby. Of course, I had to listen to Footloose.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, Eston Ray is right. Mark Egan was Pat Metheny's bass player, and he studied under Jaco down at University of Miami, actually.
So, William De Silva, good to see you.
And I remember all the wild rumors of like people that were supposed to be there that weren't. I just remember, and they were most of them were British bands I'd barely heard of. Like, we're hearing rumors Frankie Goes to Hollywood might be there. And I'm like, that's not a selling point for me, but if that'll bring you out.
When they announced it, they announced that Queen was playing without even talking to Queen yet. Because they figured that would be on them to explain why they weren't doing it, essentially.
Shame them into it.
Yeah. Which, it was, it was more interesting the Philly side of things, too, because you still had a fair amount of British acts and a real eclectic mixture, like, for the amount of big act, like, it was weird. Like, Madonna was there, but she hadn't really hit yet.
No.
Like, she did Holiday and the other song off the same EP. But, like, no Huey Lewis in the News. I'm surprised they were there. The Beach Boys fucking kicked ass. Beach Boys with Brian Wilson, Rob. Speaking of throes of drug addiction, 1985 Brian Wilson. And I was like, damn.
Pulled it out.
I don't know if Culture Club did play. The Thompson twins were there. They sucked. Holy crap.
Yeah, a lot of technology in that band and not always able to do that live.
Yeah. No ELO was a mistake, sure. You say, like, Paul McCartney did Let It Be on piano, but it was almost like he just showed up just for that. Like, there wasn't any, like, I wouldn't expect a Beatles right formation, but at least for the amount of, like, George Harrison, I was surprised wasn't there, in some capacity. But then again, it was right before George's resurgence, too, right?
Yeah, that was before, what was that album? I can't think of the name of the album.
Bad?
But, the one with Got My Mind Set on You. What was that?
It was not Bad?
I don't think it was Fab. The song When We Were Fab was on it.
It was called Four or something like that. No.
Can't remember.
No, Culture Club was asked to perform, but they declined because Boy George was drugged up.
Oh, yeah. So no Culture Club due to drug addiction and probably feud with Duran Duran because they had a big feud.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Actually, Arf, I do not know.
My God, that would be the most effeminate street brawl ever. Culture Club versus Duran Duran in a street fight.
Wow.
That'd be a lot of slapping. I'm just saying that's a lot of slapping.
If you want to, but Boy George.
Cloud 9, that was the album. And Arf Leo Lion, not familiar with him. I've only heard a couple 10 years after songs. The big one, Going Home, where he plays a walking pattern through the whole song really, really fast. I do remember that. It was like the longest. If you want to really stretch your wrist muscles, just play Going Home as fast as he did at Woodstock for 10 minutes. It will just blister your hands. Yeah, Cloud 9, that was the album.
Definitely, Dave. I paid to see the fight. Right?
Oh, yeah. And Bent Tom was asking who the Thompson twins were. They were like a techno act. They had that song Hold Me Now. That was like their big hit.
I was going to say, you had their album, didn't you?
No.
I'm not Star Trek's one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, they came out around the same time as Culture Club.
Yeah, same kind, but they were more hetero.
Okay. Ian and Indy, good to see you. They were pretty good. Neil Young's set was really good, though. I'm trying to think. Sting. It was just him and a sax player. That was weird.
Sting's always been weird.
What was Dire Straits with Sting? That was pretty cool because they could do Money for Nothing.
Money for Nothing.
Yeah. Basically they just did Money for Nothing and Sultans of Swing, and that was 20 minutes.
Yep.
It was awesome. All the lead breaks. You know what? Interesting. ZZ Top wasn't there, or Springsteen.
The Springsteen thing was weird. Because, he's all about social consciousness. But yeah, right? He was not. He was going through that weird divorce then, I thought. He had that 1 year marriage to that model. And I think that was when that was playing out. So.
I think that. Yeah. Run DMC, however, was there. That was interesting.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, we were discussing the Live Aid kind of like
Live Aid issue in your town.
Springsteen was exhausted due to marriage.
Oh, Doug's reporting in. Springsteen was exhausted due to marriage. Fuck, haven't we all been there at one time or another?
Exhausted due to marriage. Yeah, I remember that his 1 year marriage to Jenna Lee.
Dire Straits were there. Clapton, as much as he could be a douche canoe. Holy crap. Clapton pretty slated. Yeah, I'm gonna say White Room, something, and then Layla. Which, if I ever hear Layla again, I'm opening a vein. But that's another thing.
Still well done, though. Well done.
And it was pretty good Clapton. I'm just saying.
Plus, that was at the tail end.
Clapton's a lot better than 1975 Clapton.
Yeah, that was at the tail end of when he was good. By the time he does,
and I'm pretty sure he's playing through a Marshall half stack too. Because I think it was right before he got into Soldanos and stuff, right?
He was good. Behind the Sun was a good album.
I saw on stage was Neil Young's, I believe.
With the Gizmo.
I was really looking for a lot of gear because a lot of people were using supplied gear, but then, like for instance, Tony Iommi, bunch of Marshalls. I'm like, he's a Laney guy, but supplied gear.
They used all Springsteen gear in Wembley because he played there the week before.
Oh, so they rented Springsteen's back line for Wembley. Well, there we are then.
Oh, Springsteen's back line was Wembley. That's interesting. Did not know that.
Springsteen's gear was there, but not Bruce himself.
Bruce was crying in his beer somewhere. I did not know that.
Actually, a good energetic set was a young up and coming In Excess. Let's beam to Australia. I'm like, okay, that was good.
It's another band that wasn't there, AC/DC.
I had another comment there.
Well, Michael Jackson wasn't there either.
Oh, I knew Michael Jackson wouldn't be there because Michael Jackson has to be Michael. The one thing I liked was the lack of stage wear by more in England than in the US. But like a lot of like you said, like Spandau Ballet, all this, but it just made people were coming out in just shorts and t-shirts and like just streetwear, for lack of a better term. A lot of knee-high socks and short Adidas shorts and golf shorts. Yep. Holy crap. That was what all the Beach Boys were wearing. Yeah, except you're not wearing the short shorts and the long socks.
And we thank you for that, by the way.
Billy Joel didn't play because he couldn't get his band together.
Because Billy Joel fired his band right before it. Maybe Billy should have thought about that before firing his band.
Before he shit canned everybody.
Yeah, because that would have been right when CSN did play.
Mm-hmm.
For what I heard, it was pretty good. They didn't show a lot. I think they only did like one song. Maybe two. I think only one. Joan Baez did something to open. I think she opened the show. That sucked. Oh, it sucked.
Yeah, that's not
it's
a
like
Joan
Baez doing the Beatles as well. Like, easy. John Lennon's rolling his grave with you doing his shit. At one point, I saw a coked out Grace Slick, but only side stage.
Probably for the best. Probably.
Yeah, so they may have played too. They could have built their city or something.
Yeah, that was. Oh, Richard Nakamitsu is actually signing off to go to the CNN Live Aid special. Well,
you enjoy.
You enjoy. We will expect commentary.
Mm-hmm.
That was one band that wasn't there, though. AC/DC, that really were kind of.
That's we're getting into
that was
thin waters at the point, like not like stability, but like there's that kind of fly on the wall. And then we did Who Made Who, which was kind of a greatest hits, and then it was
Thunderstruck brought them back. Really, yeah. They were in kind of a rough patch there.
I just remember listening about 6 months ago now, like once I set up my stereo system again, and I put on Fly on the Wall on vinyl, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, why does everything have slapback delay on it? Like AC/DC is not a slapback, and I mean slapback on the drums, the guitars, the vocals, everything. Rob had. I'm like, wow, what idiot producer allowed this? And I turned it over, produced by Angus and Malcolm Young. I went, oh,
there you go.
I'm like, they tried.
Much as I'm not a Mutt Lange fan, maybe under those circumstances, Mutt's presence would have been welcome. Just saying.
It's been a long time since Mutt, unfortunately. So,
yeah.
Tesi Switch, not too shabby. Fly Wolf, Slapback. Can we get a remix and a remaster, please?
Hey, it's been done before.
Yeah, but overall, amazing show. I remember I discovered a lot of bands that day. And got to see a lot of bands for the first time that day perform live. And it was cool to see. You know, like I say, all these, you know, it kind of make fun of the pop bands of the day, but watching them pull it off live, like, you know, a lot of accompanying musicians. The Thompson Twins ain't no power trio, that's for fucking sure. There was like 8 people involved.
Yeah. There were only 3 of them that were the.
And 2 of them are playing guitar, and she's just hitting drums, but not a drum set of any kind.
That stuff hanging. That weird hanging.
I'm like, yeah, these are all Drama Club rejects. That's what I'm seeing right here. Carlos Santana, 4 percussionists, including the drummer, an actual drum kit, and then 3 guys on bongos of different sizes and shapes. I'm like,
sure. Because you can never have too many bongos. You cannot.
Especially if you're playing Santana music.
If you're doing Santana music, more bongos, more quality. Yep.
Oh.
But it does hold up. I mean, that definitely is a concert that holds up a lot better than either one of the Woodstock abominations.
Fashion choices do not, but
fashion choices do not.
It's 1985, so what do you expect, right?
Exactly. So, yes.
Sup, dude? Farm Aid. Yeah, that's a whole different.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where we first saw Van Hagar, was Farm Aid. Yep, I forgot about that. Yep. Man, Farm Aid, I think it still goes on, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Farm Aid's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing. It's just kind of faded.
All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, there it is. It's live. They're doing the thing. You know?
And then then
Farm Aid, I believe, was originally Willie Nelson, Neil Young, and John Mellencamp.
Yeah, and there were some weird
interesting trio of personalities, I'm just gonna say.
And there were some weird bands involved with it. Like X were involved with the early days of Farm Aid.
Richard Clark was at the first Farm Aid.
Oh wow, cool.
I guess we should add it. Did anybody attend Live Aid? If you're
that's a good question.
Watching on replay, let me know in the comments.
Anybody from the East Coast? Yeah. I was not at
who went to JFK Stadium?
I saw the Dead at JFK, not Live Aid, unfortunately. Wow, Michael Krause, Jason and the Scorchers. Wow, that's tossing back some time. That's like
I just wondered too, because with the diversity of Live Aid, you know, like I'm trying to think. Speaking of set, Aria Speedwagon. Holy crap! And you got the Beach Boys doing the harmonies on side stage, and they're all in their streetwear with the short shorts and the t-shirts. Except for Mike Love, who's always wearing a Hawaiian shirt, of course.
Of course.
But, and they're kind of singing along, but they don't really know you can tell they're not really. We're not familiar with this orchestra. I'm hearing Mr. Carlson vibe,
this orchestra.
And I thought, what would they think when they saw like Judas Priest or Black Sabbath? And just like, were they into it? Were they not? It would be definitely interesting, because it was an eclectic, and a lot of people were hanging out backstage, side stage. Oh my God, it was at the end. It was Jack Nicholson, I think, introduced Bob Dylan. Jack was so high. He was clearly hanging out with Bob and Tom Petty and all the other potheads backstage. He was like Benjamin Orr high, because Benjamin Orr, my God, you could have blindfolded him with dental floss, which I always got a kick out of Benjamin Orr, because he does. His eyes don't look like that normally, but you can tell he's one of those guys. I gotta smoke a big joint before going on stage, and he's just perma-grinning, and eyes are half closed, and
doing drive. I remember, and I just remember he's got a pilot bass. I've heard of those things. That's all I remember is he had a Guild pilot bass. I was just thrilled. I was like, I know, I've heard of those things. I finally get to see one. Some of them were broadcast on HBO, Basil, I think. I don't know for how long.
All right.
Well, I've been trying to get your attention.
Okay.
Farm Aid was the first time Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen played together live.
It was in the chat.
Yep. It was Van Hagar history.
Yeah.
And a lot of bands that you wouldn't see at Live Aid. Like I said, X, this punk band out of LA that I really like. X played a few of the early Farm Aids. Yeah, that's right. They did rock and roll. I forgot about that. That's right. That's right. Yeah, Gary Richrath was a good guitar player who just killed himself with booze and sold off. He had a bunch of bursts that he sold off until he went bankrupt, which is really sad. He had like 5 or 6, or he had a bunch of bursts.
Well, it was that weirdness. Like they've been trying, to break for so long and weren't. And then when they brought in, the folk element, basically, as he called it, folky, and then did this whole hybrid type music, which exploded, he wasn't really into it. You could tell. He's like, no, I just want to be a rock and roll. Yeah, but that wasn't working.
No.
You as the frontman wasn't working.
No, but he wasn't. Killer tone. He was a killer guitar player, but you're right. He definitely was not in the sort of Kevin Cronin pop rock sort of thing there. Oh, thank you, Charles. Appreciate that, sir.
X and Los Lobos are touring together.
Neat. I'm glad X is still around because I know Billy Zoom, the guitar player, had some serious medical issues not too long ago. They were doing some fundraisers for him. Yeah, exactly, Bent Tom. How many of those bursts are gold tops that they've stripped and a million other things?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very cool, Richard Clark.
It is cool.
Another band I thought might have been at Live Aid that wasn't was Cheap Trick, but I think that was before they had their big comeback. I think like The Flame.
Right.
And
that was like Or Heart. Same deal, but I think that was literally later that year.
I think it was before. Yeah, I think it was before.
Yeah, and clearly, like some of the like Judas Priest was clearly touring the U.S. at the time, and so they jumped on.
Ooh, William De Silva throwing out the time. They were a good band. They definitely were in Prince's shadow, but they were a good band that could kind of stand on their own. They just never really got out of that whole kind of Prince thing. Was Missing Persons at Live Aid? I don't remember them.
Wasn't in the re-release, but then again, a lot of stuff was compressed. So,
yeah, I would have liked to have seen
much more overlap.
Sabbath. Yeah,
like when,
Cheap Trick doing Steely Dan covers. Oh, that sounds painful, Richard Clark. Oh, yikes!
Oh.
Man, Steely Dan are one of those bands I just really want to like because the musicianship is brilliant.
I recall no country bands. Other than Neil doing a very country centric.
You're right, no country bands. You
could like Alabama Boys.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers doing a set for fuck's sakes, even.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No
could see. Yeah, I mean, I could see Waylon Jennings going over there, or
Mellencamp.
Mellencamp, yeah. I mean,
that was 85. He was already starting to move towards that more.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
No Dolly.
No Dolly. How could it be a festival without Dolly?
LaBelle. Holy fuck!
We got Patti LaBelle and her new attitude. She's got a new attitude, lady.
She didn't do New Attitude.
She didn't? Oh, God.
No, she did some ballad and then a Beatles song, I'm pretty sure, and then Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it was just painful.
60 Cycle Hummy called Steely Dan the original AI band. Oh, wow. That's harsh. I don't know if I go that far, but yeah, brilliant musicians. I just can't get into them.
Yeah, I never really got it. And it's funny because it's like, I swear, Steely Dan fans are like PRS owners, Rob. They just can't fathom you not liking it.
No, I know.
What do you mean you don't like? They're the best band ever. Blah, blah, blah. You're like, that's not really my thing.
I respect their ability as I just get drowsy listening to them. I just listen to this and think, well, if I'm going to listen to jazz, I'm going to listen to Weather Report. Sorry. Like I just,
jazz rock.
Yeah.
Like at all. If I want to hear different time signatures, I'll listen to Rush.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, Skunk Baxter, brilliant guitar player, brilliant guy, one of two actual famous musicians I ever jammed with, but I can't listen to Steely Dan. Sorry, just cannot.
That's the truth.
Oh yeah, iShow was a big album. They had a lot of really big albums.
Yeah, I bet PRS likes Steely Dan. Oh, you know it. You know Paul likes Steely Dan.
Yeah.
I really wanted Skunk Baxter to use my guitars, but he already builds his own.
Builds his own.
Santana instead.
I had to go with Carlos Santana. I couldn't get Skunk.
Yeah.
I really wanted Skunk, but I got Carlos instead. And he brought the bongos. He brought the freaking bongos. We had to give the bongo players coffee while we sketched the guitar out in a napkin.
Right. Basically, I want you to rip off the Yamaha I've been playing the last 5 years. Okay.
I want you to take this, but I want birds. Take this and give me birds.
So what's with the bird inlays?
Don't ask. We need the birds.
Which folks, I think I saw, the first ever PRS publicly, because Carlos was playing a PRS at Live Aid. I suppose Foreigner wasn't there too. That'd be another one.
Yeah, they were doing. What wasn't that?
They might have already split up by then.
And that was when they had what I Want to Know What Love Is, that really horrible ballad. I think that was
that might have come out a couple years earlier, and they'd already split up by then. Because they split up not long after, because then Lou Gramm had a solo record out.
Yeah, with Midnight Blue on it.
They're told there's no room on the bill for them.
Foreigner, no room on the bill.
No room on the bill.
Sorry, no room for you.
Patti LaBelle, yeah.
Up.
Foreigner, no.
They asked to play, but they said no.
They said no. Foreigner denied.
But we got Adam Ant.
Well, thank God for that.
Although, in all fairness, Adam Ant's guitar player was playing a TV Yellow Les Paul Jr. with a fuzz, and it sounded pretty badass. I've never heard that tone the rest of the day again.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's kind of a one-off there for that era, for 1985.
The Kinks wanted to play as well, too, but they were told they weren't famous enough.
The Kinks
weren't famous enough?
Oh. But the Style Council is.
But the Style Council. The Kinks
we shouldn't even talk about it opened on a great... Yeah, it's Status Quo, or Status Quo, depending on who you talk to open the show, and it was great. Because who doesn't like tellies through Marshalls?
Who doesn't like a telly through a Marshall?
Steve Stevens was there. Did not see Billy Idol, though.
Huh.
Steve Stevens may have sat in with the Thompson twins.
Well, that's too bad.
Get around that.
That's a waste of good talent there.
Yeah.
They should have sat in with Steve Stevens, perhaps. That might have been a better way to go. Wow.
Well, I think somebody else was singing in front, too, so it was kind of bring out multiple people. That's a good question. Maybe he got cut out. Maybe Billy Idol did perform and we just didn't see it.
I don't know.
Because I don't know why Steve Stevens would be there otherwise.
Boomtown Rats might have. I could.
No, they didn't open. It was Status Quo opened. Boomtown Rats wrote shortly thereafter. They kept it short. They did 2 songs and then they backed up Adam Ant, I think.
Probably. Do Boomtown Rats have that many songs? I just remember I Don't Like Mondays. That was.
Well, see, they did a song and then that, basically. It was like Spandau Ballet. Just do True and move on. Nobody cares about the other songs.
And Gold. Yeah, they only had True. They're only allowed to have very short one-word titles. Yeah. True, Gold.
I really didn't need like the 7-minute version of Ultravox's Vienna either. Holy shit.
Bow Wow Wow was there? Interesting. Ian's guitar
they didn't make the release. I don't recall them there. Could have been, but again.
Def Leppard was scheduled to play.
But it's like
there was an issue since when they were signed to when they were supposed to go, there was an issue.
Yeah, well, I have a good idea what the issue was.
Steve Clark. I'm going to vote for
Rick Allen.
Oh, that's right. Rick Allen was still in rehab. That's right. You're right.
Yeah, he was still working on learning how to play drums again at that point.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months after the car accident.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, with that $40,000 trigger kit that he worked with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Boomtown Rats are still around, apparently, according to Michael Krause.
Really? Are they, though? Or do they get together once in a while so Bob Geldof feels like he's still relevant in the music business?
Billy Baloney, you were correct.
Both. He sat in with Clapton too. So Clapton had 2 drummers,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny because he fucked up the ending of the first song. So after that, the bass player was like, "Yeah, you're giving him the we're wrapping up here." He's like, "Thank you."
Yep, Nathan East can do that. Great bass player.
Wasn't Nathan East at the time? It was somebody else.
Oh,
Nathan East was there playing with. He was playing with Elton John.
Oh, is that who he was with? Because I remember seeing him. Okay,
Yeah,
so he was with Elton John.
He was in because I was like, how many bands is he going to play with today, and how many are Sklar going to play with?
Well,
it's like backline provided, bass player provided.
Brian, we've got your choice. You've got Sklar or East, your pick.
Yeah,
4-string or 5-string, whichever.
Perfect.
That's all you need. Yeah, Bob Geldof was Pink in Pink Floyd The Wall.
Yeah.
One weird looking dude, just a weird looking guy.
That movie. Well, you gotta watch it on this. Tried it. I've watched that movie sober and a variety of substances. Movie sucked every time.
It's just not that good. Yeah, you sit down and just think
a good movie.
It's just I look at look at all the work it takes to bore me. It's like this is just not just much better as an album, not as good as a movie.
Yep. Much like Sgt. Pepper. Great album, shitty movie.
I take The Wall over Sgt. Pepper. I take The Wall over Tommy, another horrible movie.
I'll watch Sgt. Pepper over The Wall.
Wow. It is kind of a battle of the basement.
Although it is Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees.
Yeah, that's a hard sell for me.
But it did introduce me to Aerosmith, though. So there was that. I want to say Alice Cooper was in it as well.
Tommy was a lot better. Not that
it's... I've been greeting Marcel en français. I've been getting a shit ton of French ads on YouTube as a result. It was Duck Dunn with Clapton.
Was it Duck Dunn?
Oh, there we are. Damn.
Michael Krause has a good point. You can write it, you can't act. You can go get someone else. But if you were going to get someone who could act, why Bob Geldof?
Who's not an actor.
You know, yeah, that's pretty good, Amanda. I would go with that. Yep. Yeah, that'll work. Yep, that's pretty much. And I love the Who, but yep, that's how
Future
I feel.
Villain band. Thank you, Richard Clark. Future Villain band. Aerosmith was not again. Aerosmith, due to cocaine addiction and the band broken up at the time, Joe Perry wasn't in Aerosmith at that time. He had quit after Done With Year and did the original Joe Perry project. Yeah. It wasn't until they came back with Permanent Vacation a couple of years after that. Sting was in Dune, and that sucked. Sting's been in a lot of things that sucked.
Yeah, he has. He was fine in Quadrophenia, but he was in there for like 10 minutes. It's like, no, you can't act. You were good for 10 minutes. Like that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
Mark Taft, you should be Mark Taft, you should be stoked. That is definitely worth stoked.
It was funny when I was watching the Who set, I thought, if Roger Waters and Pete Townsend started a band together, that would be the most pretentious band ever. And then I thought to myself, who would play drums? And the answer was immediately obvious to me. It has to be Ginger Baker.
Ugh.
Can you imagine the egos in that power? 3 musicians, enough ego for a full orchestra.
Oh God, they'd absolutely kill each other. That would be the shortest all-star band ever. What was that documentary, Beware of Mr. Baker? That was just psychotic. That was just nuts. Yeah,
I just thought the 3 of them couldn't get through creating a set list, let alone playing a show. What's up, Paul Lou?
Yeah, Michael Krause has a good point. That is a basement battle for acting chops. Sting versus Mick Jagger. That's
Gene Simmons could hold both their beverages.
Or Gene Simmons. You should have to be like
I'm Gene Simmons.
Other than Rick Springfield, it's like don't be an actor. Okay,
no.
Like he's the only one. It's like
You know what? Honestly, Phil Collins not bad as an actor.
No, because he was not. Buster or whatever that thing was that he was in, and a couple others. Yeah, he's actually not bad. Then Madonna comes in like the Kool-Aid. Oh God!
Get Into the Groove and Holiday. That was the two she did.
Oh
And
God!
She came back out to sing some other song, but she didn't know the words, so she was.
But she didn't know the words. Yeah, she's kind of been a fence post since the mid '80s. You know, it's just like,
yeah, that was It's like, all right, sure.
oh, William De Silva going against the grain of the Pink Floyd canon, obscured by cloud.
With your hair. That's my favorite Floyd album.
No one ever picks the final cut. Always the basement finisher. Final cut.
Dwight Yoakam was scary in Sling Blade. He was good in Sling Blade. Actually, Dwight Yoakam was a pretty good actor.
Yeah. Actually, yes. Dwight Yoakam can act.
Quite a few things.
Yeah, Dwight Yoakam can act.
Yeah.
I guess Reba McEntire can act. We'll give it to her too.
She's done several TV shows.
Soft spot for Tremors. Hard to not like Tremors. Yeah. Oh God, not Evita with Madonna. Oh, that's awful.
Oh.
I've seen Evita, not with Madonna, thankfully. Oh, that would be painful.
I can't handle either.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
Then we got actors that think they're musicians. Kevin Bacon,
Johnny Depp, Jared Leto. I put him in that category too. That, in fact, Jared Leto's a freaking rapist.
I put bass in a grunge band. Who the fuck can't? I can pick up the homeless guy out front of the bar and he can play. You know, who do you look up as your influences? Blackie Lawless and Nikki Sixx. See what I did there?
The twin pillars of bass futility. The twin pillars of open E and point. Just open E and point. That's all it takes.
Jason Momoa. Sure.
But he's supposed to actually be able to play.
He did blend well between acting and music. He could do
and a Rhodes Scholar. But he's one of those guys that like beats every category.
I prefer Cher as an actress to a singer, Keith H.
Did we learn nothing from Shanghai Surprise? Shanghai Surprise. I forgot about that with Mrs. Sean Penn.
I didn't forget about Jack Black. See, I'd like to like Jack Black, but he's just too much. Like, he seems like a cokehead, even though he doesn't do coke. He's just way too much. Just easy. Just stop. Slow down. Quiet.
He kind of has that Chris Farley vibe, and I think that's kind of worn out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's a certain natural nervous energy there that I don't want any part of.
Jason Momoa in the mosh pit. That sounds frightening.
That pit would not last long. Elbows up. Everyone's out cold.
Yeah.
Assuming he's cold.
I did see that L barge, actually.
Really? Steven Seagal? You had to mention Steven Seagal, Billy. I will listen to Johnny Depp over Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that Robin Williams spazzy vibe kind of thing. Yeah. I just don't think that has aged very well. Favorite Chris Penn movie?
Oh.
Beyonce is Foxy Cleopatra. Oh, The Wildlife. I forgot about that with Bananarama on the soundtrack. Ooh. I think I won that soundtrack roller skating once when I was like,
of course you did.
14. Wow. I think I gave it to a girl in my class, I think.
It's like I have a studio audience tonight.
I know, the cat and the king of cornhole.
Nope. The cat's finally given up.
The cat wandered off. The cat's had enough. I've got like 3 cats sacked out around me here.
Hey,
Chris Christopherson was a good actor, and a Rhodes Scholar, and a helicopter pilot, and a captain.
Yeah, I loved him schooling the uneducated when they're like, "Oh, you're just a hippie protester. You don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Look here, son. Sit down. Let me tell you something."
that he spoke like 4 languages. Yeah, the guy is brilliant. I think wasn't that was Sean Penn in At Close Range, I think. If it's the movie I'm thinking of. I've never seen Truth or Dare, Rob Blackmore, and I'm very proud to say that.
I'm not even going to read that comment. Nope. That's a little much, but sure.
Oh, River's Edge was great. That was Crispin Glover, Keanu Reeves, and what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. He passed away, the old guy who was very weird.
And I liked his music. Okay.
Michael Penn is married to the woman from Till Tuesday.
Okay.
What's her name? I can't think of her name. Amy Mann. Amy Mann.
Right. I want to say they were back performing for some reason.
They could be. Dennis Hopper. Thank you. I couldn't think of Dennis Hopper's name. Thank you, Matthew Krause. Yeah, River's Edge was a great movie, though. That was a good soundtrack, too. Disturbing, but good.
Speaking of someone who likes his weed, Dennis Hopper. It's like, oh, shock, he passed away. I'm like, I am not shocked at all.
Kind of surprised he lived as long as he did.
Exactly.
He kind of abused himself, you know? Kind of like...
He had a good time.
He did have a good time.
Yes, Charles likes to mention that he and Chris Christopherson served in the same division.
Saved.
Not at the same time, because Charles isn't that old.
No. Charles would have...
Charles military trained. He could kill us if he wanted to. But he's
Charles
a nice guy.
Would have to be 75.
He can outrun him. He doesn't have the knees. Although I don't have the knees either. Tom Waits is a good actor. I'd rather see Tom Waits acting than... I want to use the word singing, but he doesn't.
No, he just I don't know what he does. He does it well, but it's kind of a growl.
Yep.
A bark. I don't know.
I remember I was at work and a coworker, she put on a song and I was like, wow, is this Tom Waits? She goes, no, that's my friend Gabby singing. I'm like, that's a fucking woman. Swear to God, I thought it was Tom Waits.
You're not getting invited to that wedding reception. No,
I ended up joining the later version of that band. So,
wow. That's
And Gabby had left the band. They had reformed it. And for years, Gabby's like, we need to sit down and songwrite together. I'm like, I don't think we do.
I don't know if I can downtune far enough.
Actor musicians, Elvis.
Elvis?
Well, just actor musician.
He's kind of lacking in both categories there. I barely call him a musician or an actor.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's like saying Johnny Cash, and Columbo makes him an actor.
Sound like your father.
Yeah, Johnny Cash.
You sound like yours.
Lyle Lovett.
Lyle Lovett. Actor, musician.
Here's 2 underrated movies, 2 of that same era. If we're going to do kind of like rock films, we've got, how about Rumblefish and The Outsiders?
Mm-hmm.
Both very good. Charles and Biz Crosby as White Christmas is Christopherson General Waverly. And Amanda plunges right down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, deep.
Charles is big. That's my wife's music. Oof, that hurts.
Yep. We'll go a little while longer here, folks. Some interesting topics.
Yeah, no, Marcel LeBlanc, like Chris Christopherson, he was like literally a Rhodes Scholar, and I think I don't know if was he a West Point graduate? But no, he was like a very educated guy and like a military, like high flyer.
I want to say his father was in the military too.
Could be. Oh wow, Amanda, that sounds appalling, Amanda. The last thing I want to hear before going to sleep is not Tom Waits. I don't know what You might as well listen to the Velvet Underground before going to bed for much the same effect. That's just wrong. Oh,
Rated act, in my opinion. Why are they popular? Because the singer's friends with Andy Warhol. Is that? Oh, yeah, that's it.
I think it was what Brian Eno said about the Velvet Underground. He said the Velvet Underground only sold 4,000 records, but everybody who bought one started a band. Like, they're definitely a band that band founders
I used to cover a Velvet Underground song. The key was to have me learn it before you told me who it was.
Yeah, David Bowie could act. Yeah, actually, yeah. Bowie was good.
And not just in Labyrinth.
No, there was that magician movie he was in that he was good, and I can't think of what that was called. The Prestige? Something. A band-spawning band. Yeah, no, honestly, that's the key of the Velvet Underground. Yeah, because just about everybody who started some influential band liked the Velvet Underground. Thought it was a Tom Waits cover. Yeah, that Nico woman was strange. Yep, the Goblin King and Labyrinth and a bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that? There was a movie where I think Bowie played Tesla, Nikola Tesla, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was some magician movie or something. And you could buy him as Tesla. Or what was the other one? The Man Who Fell to Earth, where he was just, coked out of his freaking mind.
Where is that? Their cover Dancing in the Streets sucks so bad. So 80s.
That was even the clothes. I just remember
Paris Rock.
Big. It was The Prestige. Thank you, Miguel Osornio. All right. Yep, and The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, I gotta pee soon. That sucks. I hate that during live streams.
David Bowie was also in The Hunger.
The Hunger.
Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And Mr. Lawrence.
And Mr. Lawrence. There you go. Thank you, IMDb.
He was also in Just a Gigolo.
The music video?
No, in 1978.
Actually, Billy Baloney makes a good point. Yeah, they were definitely the only ones that I can think of singing about heroin back then. The Nico Ono band. Wow. That's an all-star lineup. Nico and Yoko. That's wow. Yeah. Yeah, that'll clear a club.
That just hurts.
That
makes my ears bleed just thinking about it.
Yeah, that makes sense, Billy Baloney. Kind of in the same way like Black Sabbath. I mean, when they came out, they were the angriest people on earth. Although I think the angriest band back then was probably MC5.
They were pretty angry.
They were very angry.
Mm-hmm.
The call of the Yoko. I remember in grad school, I actually...
See, when I hear Yoko Ono, I think it is my cat.
There you go.
Let's say, yeah, that's the cat. Or Yoko.
When I was in grad school, I worked at the school's museum, and they actually did, I kid you not, a Yoko Ono retrospective. And the curator and the assistant curator went to the Dakota to pick up the artwork that we were going to be featuring, and they actually got to meet her. And she was actually really nice. I was waiting for some appalling horror stories about her, and she was like, oh yeah, she's really nice.
I think especially after John passed, she was just happy to be included in anything,
Or this was like back in 2000, so maybe her most psychotic days were behind her, perhaps, but the art was still freaking weird. And they had this weird installation where they had a phone and she would just occasionally call people and chat with them. That was the artwork. And I was like, okay, whatever. So,
well, that's about on point for that.
Yeah. So the mic that Chuck Berry gave her. Yeah, that was a great moment in rock history.
It wasn't a passing of the torch, Yoko.
No.
Well, folks, I think we've answered a few things here. We're definitely gonna have to do another one of these.
Always happy to.
Always fun having Rob on.
Thank you.
All right, well, shut up. I don't know if you heard that. Doug's complaining. Well, it's a 3-hour drive for me. Well, you don't have to be here.
Well, you said we need to do another one of these.
Not tonight.
Not even.
Doug throws.
He thinks we're still doing it.
Well, thank you, Mark. Glad you enjoyed it. And Richard, glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Ferd.
You want to get some more, another helping of Rob here in the not too distant future? Click that join button or become a patron, because Rob's at quite a few of the Water Buffalo meetings, and
I am.
it can go dark.
It can go dark. We promise darkness. It's what I do.
Yep. It's hello, darkness, my old friend.
Let's chat.
Right. Yes, and we'll definitely do it. We didn't even get into the deep dive on 80s Rush, so there is that.
There is that. That's a whole evening right there. There we go.
Yeah. Let's talk about Show of Hands and Presto and all that good stuff.
And maybe Roll the Bones. So I guess that's 90s technically.
Let's not talk about white Canadian rapping.
That was not a good idea. Not.
It's like great. They decided to turn into a guitar band again. Wait, is Alex rapping? Why is Alex? Alex, stop rapping.
Alex, go sit with Neil. Go behind the drums. That's it.
Look,
don't.
White men in sports jackets playing PRSs shouldn't rap.
No, they should not.
Sorry, if you fall in that category, don't rap. Don't.
No. This is wrong on any. Have you learned nothing from Caress of Steel? You guys know how to spot your bad moves, and
exactly. So I'll be back tomorrow night with Canucks with Guitars. That'll be fun. I don't know what I'm going to do or play, but actually, I was supposed to restring that guitar yesterday to play tomorrow. Well, we'll see how that works out tomorrow. That's a tomorrow problem. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and check out Rob's channel. Charles is putting the link in the chat, as well as there's a link in the description. If you haven't subscribed already, go check it out. Go watch one of his videos. You got nothing else to do. We're all done here. So, there was that. So, till next time, hold the line here, Rob. Hold the doors open. Let this guy in ahead of you in traffic, because he's got to drive 200 miles. And,
move.
Yeah, westbound and down. It's about 200 miles. It's about 275K. Yeah, you got like another 3-hour drive ahead of you.
Ooh.
It's 280K.
Well, sorry, 275. It's 280. I forgot. You live in Waterloo and not Kitchener. Proper. If you live in Kitchener, it'd be a lot less drive. Just saying. Let them in traffic. Be good to each other. Happy tone chasing. And of course, don't litter.
Don't litter.